Okay, here we go. New EP, self-released 4-tracker from Oddprophet. I've heard one of these tunes so far, I think. A couple of them came out last week. He's done a bit of a staggered release here. 2 last week, 2 this week. I've heard Unfinished Business, which I liked a decent amount. And I think he's going for this whole kind of like a freeform, not in the sense of like freeform bass, the style of music, the genre, but freeform in the sense that he just, changes BPMs and does kind of whatever he wants and goes off on weird tangents when it comes to the tear out style of dubstep. So that's exactly what we're getting here for this EP. If, tunes like British Gas or anything to go by that came out a couple of years ago, the more I've heard that tune, the more I've gone back to it, the more I'm like, fuck, this is actually one of the best tunes of this decade so far. I'm not going to lie, like, it is so good. If this EP, for the most part, is going to be following suit, then I'm going to enjoy it quite a bit, I think. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on with it, shall we? The Tempest Part 1 and Unfinished Business is the opening tune. Let's go. Straight into it. Straight into it. Here we go. Oi! Oi! Okay. That hits hard. That hits pretty hard. Oh. Oh my god, oh fucking hell, dearie, dearie, dearie me. Some of the angled kind of interplay between notes here is some of his best stuff, I'm not gonna lie, and the production backs it up as well. It's not got that kind of harsh, blown out execution that he's gone for before. It's got a rounded warmth about it with how it's made, Another speed up situation, let's go. Ooh. There's so much going on. There's so much going on. Whee! Oh, and again, and again, and again. Aye. Ah. Oh, one more slowdown just to round it off. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, people, aspiring budding producers out there, people trying to make their way in this scene, releasing with a label is a good thing. It is a good thing for getting your name out there. You'll get some, I suppose, you get some money from it, putting your tunes out with them. They'll promote it properly. They'll give you good artwork, all those things. But do also let it be known that when you pave your own way, when you tread your own path, you can do whatever you want. When you're self-releasing, you can do literally whatever you want. And this is just such a shining example of the possibilities that you have at your disposal when you just, don't have anyone essentially telling you what to do. Fact of the matter is, right here, we have maybe, 6 to 8 different significant drops or releases of sound within the track, and they're all impactful in some way. Obviously, some are better. There's a couple in the middle where you're just like, this is dragging a little bit. Maybe could have been taken out just to make for a more concise cut. But I love the constant dipping in and out of different tempos and keeping the essence of the track and the whole sound, its sonic appeal throughout. It's very consistent with that, and I love that about it. There are some good vocal samples in there as well, and the production, really important to note that, because like I said in the past, he's always gone for that harsh, overblown, screechy, elephant kind of sound, tear out style. In the past, it's had a bit of a graininess and harshness on the ear, and the percussion as well to go with that. It just felt a little bit too clanky, a bit too metallic, but this has got a warmth about it and a complete feel that just matches the ambition with the ideas that we are getting here. So yeah, that's a great opener, and we have 3 more to go from there. Next up, track number 2, Recognize. Can I please get some bigs in the chat? Can I get some bigs in the chat? Honestly, that Unfinished Business, that could rival Big Gas over time for me. I'm not even joking. That is some flavour. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh. Oh. Mate, some of this, it's like, yeah, that climbing up technique, that is really working. That is I mean, he's clearly just doing really cool things, really inventive things, like essentially whatever he wants with the tear out genre, and it's really working so far. Really working. Is this another speed up of sorts? Am I sensing that? A little switch up in tempo maybe again? Oh. Oh. Ay, 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 ay. Whew. Honestly, from what we've heard so far, this is one of the best tear out EPs, or predominantly tear out EPs that I've heard in quite a while. I think you can really just hear that he is creating this music without limitation, just again doing exactly what he wants, letting his music go off in whatever direction and having nothing kind of holding him back, in his innovation. It's crazy. I mean, there's a little bit of an extent to which the main idea feels a little bit overused, I think, as the track goes on, just a little bit, but to be honest, the force of it, the layout of those staccato staggered kind of da-da-da-dan, cha-da-da-dan through different changes in tempo, like slight changes in tempo as well, I think that's enough to keep you engaged for the whole thing. It's just another really good iteration and outlay of his sound and his style, and I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of this EP so far. It's showing me the capabilities of tear out music, and you kind of lose that a bit over time listening to so much of it. So much of it essentially sounds the same and goes for the exact same thing, but this is showing the potential of big room dubstep music. Next up at track number 3, we have, oh, hang on a sec, the only difference between me and God is I don't take days off. I had to literally hover over the track title because it wasn't showing on the main preview because it's so long. The only difference between me and God is I don't take days off. Right, we got that. Again, just those classic elephant noises just permeating Oddprophet's music. Once again, you gotta love it. Oh, another slowdown, come on! Give it to me! Oh mate, fucking me up with this fake out. Oi. Mate, where is this going? This is what I'm talking about when it comes to unpredictable. There are some weird bits in this tune where it goes a little bit muffled and a little bit like It dips a little bit. The sound just dips notably. I think that was the most kind of simple one so far, even though it does have switches in tempo again. I think in terms of the length of it and just what the drops go for, not quite as ambitious as what we got before on this EP, the 2 tracks that we've got before, which is okay. I mean, they set quite a high standard, those opening 2 that we got. Introduction here, fantastic. You got those classic rising, piercing, elephant kind of Oddprophet sounds, and the chugging guitar-esque sound I think we got there in the opening was really good. Percussion was fantastic, built up really well. And then the heaviness, I think, in both the first and the second drop, there are points where it just dips in this weird, awkward kind of way that doesn't quite sit right on the ear. Beyond that, the ideas are decent. The second drop, probably the least impactful drop of all the ones we've got so far. Just felt a little bit scant, not quite, that much going on there. There are parts where it felt a little bit empty. Quite a solid opening 2/3 or so, with that big midsection speed up as well. But yeah, the second drop does leave a little bit of a sour taste when we draw towards the end of the tune. But that first half or so, yeah, I was pretty locked in. But anyway, we have the final cut now, the final tune of this EP, Aztec Death Whistle. Fantastic title. Speeding up already. Give it to me. Give me more. Give me more. Oi, 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 oi. And again, and again. Big old stomper, big old stomper. Oi. Oh, mate, it's just pretty loud, pretty mad, pretty in your face. The percussion there, the production overall, again, that was another good example of that. Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, the third track, I wasn't all about it, but this one is picking it right back up in a big way. This is just, for what it's going for, doing pretty much everything right. Could maybe have had a bit more variety with that second bit of heaviness that we got just there, but just a little bit more invention just to level up on what we got with the first drop, but still very forceful, very impactful, and not many people get that right. Oh, behave, mate. Fucking behave. Oh, and again. Man, that one that one really made sure that the EP ended with a flourish. I mean, Jesus Louises, that is that's another fat tune from the Mr. Oddprophet. That's the one. Crikey, I feel like I need to kind of catch my breath after that a little bit, because it's another tune with just so many tempo changes, so much going on, so much loudness, so much in your faceness, so many grisly vocal sample usage. It's all going on. I think again there is a little bit of an extent to which I'm like, could have been a little bit shorter, could have been chopped just a little bit by maybe half a minute or so, just taken out one of the drops, or maybe shortened certain sections here and there. I think so. There's a little part of me, I need to hear it again, but there's a little part of me that thought the heaviness maybe got a little bit less impactful, maybe apart from the last drop. Just as it was going on, I was like kind of feeling it less and less. It was a bit of a diminishing returns situation perhaps, but no, for the most part we're looking at another super ambitious and just multifaceted tear out big room dubstep leaning kind of tune to round off you know, an EP that does all of those things that I've just said and more. I'm trying to make myself catch my breath a little bit here, because fuck you know, taking it out of me. Definitely some of the best Oddprophet material I think so far in his discography is on this EP. Super ambitious with the tempo changes. The production as well I think is a really important thing. There are definitely points where it doesn't work and it feels just that little bit empty, that little bit scant, certain gaps that need filling that aren't, and you're just like, you don't quite feel the full force of it because that isn't quite there. But for the most part, I think it might be the first time I'm saying this about his music. For the most part, the production just has a real completed feel about it. And that's super important when you're making music that loud, because you want it to have the full force, and if the production isn't there, then you're not really going to get that. But he does have that on lock. There's a lot of good vocal sample usage. Story bound up in these tunes as well, very much taking after British Gas. Maybe over time, going back to tracks like Unfinished Business and that one we just heard, Aztec Death Whistle, they will be on a par, I think. And it's really cool to hear him kind of melding his original Oddprophet style with this new slowed down, tear out kind of vibe that quite a few people are going for at the moment, that is all the rage, if you will. So he's melding those two different approaches to making tear out music in a very effective way. And I'm just kind of looking forward to getting back into these tunes and allowing them to grow on me more and more. Genuinely, I think one of the best of this year so far. I'm just going to stick my neck out and say it. There is a lot of good material here, and obviously leaves me looking forward to part 2 and how he might meld those distinct projects of music. But there we go. A decent EP.